On Peachy.
Chair, speaking to part one of the bill, I need to react to comments made by the member for Wellington Central, who seems to me is digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole in terms of two things. One is his inability to actually address the issues in this bill, which last time I heard that Labour Party members speaking last night, they're actually supporting. Secondly, trying to get this all tied up in the voluntary student union membership bill, where the issues, in my view, are very, very different. But thirdly, and most significantly, and where the electorate will demand a price at the election, is in the electorate of Wellington Central itself, and the willingness of that member to use filibuster tactics in this House to frustrate a bill in his name brought on behalf of the Royal Society, in which he was being asked to discharge his responsibilities as an elected MP, and he has chosen instead to put an ideological agenda ahead of an organisation in his electorate that required his assistance. And as the chairperson of the Select Committee that chaired the hearings into the Royal Society Bill, I want to just apologise to my friends in the Royal Society that you have got caught up in this mess, but I'm confident that the electorate of Wellington Central will hold that member to account. Now, to get back to part one, in relation to tertiary education, this part enables the responsible minister to issue directions on student services fees, compulsory fees for non-tuition related services. And it seems to me, Mr. Chair, that there is a debate that we are fringing around. It sort of doesn't really matter from this side of the House because the government is confident in what it is doing. It becomes a little bit tricky when the Labour Party tries to link this to the survival of compulsory student unionism. Now, I think the House has actually been very tolerant in letting members like Mr. Robertson do that, but at the end of the day, the basic question is not being asked, and that is this: how many of these services are actually necessary for the great bulk of students? Now, one of the clear messages that I felt came through during hearings in the VSM bill was that we'd reached a situation where you'd begin to wonder whether 17, 18, 19-year-olds who go off to university are actually capable of standing on their own 2 feet and making good decisions for themselves. And I listened to the sort of stuff that the Labour Party is putting up in this debate and in the VSM debate. And one has to ask oneself, where is the faith and where is the confidence in the young people of New Zealand who are deemed intelligent enough, and perhaps Mr. Chairman, the member who is shouting at me might like to take on the demure of an adult rather than a recalcitrant fourth form girl. We are. It seems to me that we are in danger here, or at least members of the Labour Party are in danger here of trying to convince this House that they are 17, 18, 19, whatever year olds who have the qualifications to attend tertiary institutions actually are not capable of making good decisions for themselves. And if one of the things that comes out of this legislation and comes out of the Minister's authority to to be involved in the setting of service levies and that sort of thing?
Carmel Sibilani, before the member begins, look, we are debating the Education Amendment Bill number 4, not the VSM Bill. People can make comparisons, I guess, but the debate should be on the Education Amendment Bill. Carmel Sibilani.